Hello and welcome to part 2 of the video training series on Reprogram Your Weight. I'm Erika Flint, author and creator of Reprogram Your Weight. Reprogram Your Weight is a unique system that uses hypnosis to help shift how you think and feel so you can stop thinking about food all the time, regain control of eating, and lose the weight once and for all. So in this part of the training, we're going to go over how you can lose weight while eating. So let's start with another principle of the mind. In part 1 of this video training series, we talked about a principle of the mind, and that one was whatever we think about grows. If you're thinking about food all the time, your appetite is going to grow. All right, so that's one of the things that we can fix and reprogram your mind. So here's the second principle of the mind. The brain has a natural tendency to turn away from pain and toward pleasure. So it's natural for you to turn toward pleasurable food when you don't feel well. So let me ask you this. The last time you were stressed and turned to food, was it broccoli? Was it Brussels sprouts? No? I didn't think so. Because when we turn to food when we're stressed, we turn to highly pleasurable foods. Now, don't get me wrong, I love both of those things, and I actually eat Brussels sprouts and broccoli all of the time. But I've never once had a client come to me because they were eating too much broccoli or eating too many Brussels sprouts. So here's the trick. The brain doesn't actually need food to feel better. Anything at all pleasurable will help the brain feel better. We just get in a bad habit of turning to food when we feel bad because it's easy. Food is everywhere, it's easy to get, and it takes minimal effort to obtain and eat it. All right, so what does all of this mean? So there's two things that I want you to get out of this. First of all, the underlying root issue must be addressed. The underlying root problem that is causing you to feel in a way that you don't want to feel and turn to food to feel better needs to be addressed and removed. So this is what's commonly referred to as emotional eating, like feeling sad or lonely or stressed or inadequate and then eating because of that. And in Reprogram Your Weight, we get to that root issue and dissolve it away very quickly and easily, even if it's been there for a very long time. Even if you've tried in the past, hypnosis can help get those feelings away and dissolve them away. Reprogram Your Weight uses very powerful hypnosis, and it is designed to reveal and dissolve away those feelings that are holding you back. The second thing I want you to realize is that the brain doesn't actually need food to feel better. It just wants to feel better. So any alternative will work. Have you ever been at a point in your life where you are feeling really well and you have all sorts of different things that you do that you love? Maybe you're creative, maybe you're a painter, maybe you sing, maybe you like to ride or hike or play with your kids or something like that, working out, listening to music, those types of things. So it's really important to have those types of things that are pleasurable for you. Then once we address that underlying root problem, and then you have something else pleasurable to do, it becomes a very effective technique for the long term for you. And Reprogram Your Weight is very effective at helping us kind of reinstall this new method, this new program for you to get success very quickly. So first of all, address the underlying emotional component. Second, have another way to address those feelings. So this is all part about what I referred to in the very first training called mindful eating. And once you address this emotional component, it's much easier to eat mindfully. So I'll just give you a brief overview of mindful eating. Here's how it works. Eat when you're hungry. So you're waiting until you actually get a signal from your body that you're hungry, and stop when you're full. Eating healthy food in healthy portions. And before you eat, you ask yourself, am I actually hungry? And if you're not, don't eat. So I'll give you a hint here. Based on my experience with a lot of clients, many of them are not actually hungry the very first thing in the day. All right. So if you're not hungry for your breakfast time until a few hours after you wake up, that's common, and that's okay. And that's just an example too. But there's a lot more to mindful eating because, as you can imagine, every person has unique challenges and situations. So some people that I work with are at home all day with kids, or they work at home. Others have stressful jobs. Other people are retired. Some of my clients have physical limitations. They have a bad back, or they have bad knees and they can't move very much. It's challenging for them to move. But guess what? This still works for people who have physical limitations. It works for all of those situations. But it's also going to be a unique program designed just for you and based on your unique circumstances. Because if we come up with a program that's based on your circumstances, then guess what? It becomes easy for you to do, and then it can become feasible for you to do. And pretty soon you're doing it regularly. It becomes habitual, and then it becomes permanent. So all those things need to be taken into consideration when it comes to stopping emotional eating and getting you to eat in accordance with your body's natural rhythms. And when we do that with Reprogram Your Weight, you begin to lose weight right away. And you're essentially going with the flow of your body instead of against it. Mindful eating also includes things like portion control and how to handle situations like your grandkid's birthday or the company break room or Thanksgiving or, the Friday night party or something like that. So those are the basics of mindful eating. And, my clients get better at it over time, just like anything we do. So you can reprogram yourself to eat mindfully. And when you do that, you're quickly on your way to losing all the weight you want to lose. Mindful eating is one of the foundations of long-term weight loss success, but it's backed by two other really powerful aspects. Addressing any feelings that are causing you to want to eat when you're not hungry, all right? Those are the feelings of sadness and inadequacy and frustration and stress, those types of things. And then finding that new response to the feelings when they come up in the future. All right, so I want to end part 2 with another story, just like we did in the first one. All right, so this one is about Jennifer. Jennifer came to see me, and she told me right away, Erika, I'm not really sure. I don't know that much about hypnosis. I'm not sure why I'm here, but I don't know what else to do, so I hope you can help me. And this is common for people not to understand what hypnosis really is, and I talked about that a little bit in the part 1 training. And so it's part of my job to help them understand that it's safe and that we get the results that we want, consistent results, that type of a thing, so people feel really good about working with me. So for Jennifer, she was upset. And she was very emotional when we first talked. But you know what? I knew that I could help her. I've helped hundreds of people who are really upset, who are emotional, who are frustrated, who are desperate. Okay. She did have some issues. She had some relationship issues, current issues with siblings in her family. Her parents had passed away. She was managing their estate. Very highly stressful situation, causing this atmosphere of chaos in her family. And that's kind of what brought her to come see me. But the reality is she had struggled with her weight her entire life. She had a really fantastic grandmother who was a great baker, and her mom was really super busy, and so her mom didn't get to spend a lot of time with her, and so she has memories of spending time with her grandmother and eating those baked goods, eating those cookies, eating those other things, and they were some of her favorite memories. So now she's associated feeling good with eating baked goods, and so she got in this bad habit of anytime she was feeling bad, she would go have something sweet to eat, and it made her feel better. But of course, we all know that over time that is not a long-term solution because she ended up gaining weight, right? So after 2 weeks, the first week she stopped eating, she started eating healthier, okay, but it was the second week, she stopped eating sugar altogether, and she really could not believe it. She was speechless. She couldn't believe that for so long in her life, she'd felt so compelled, like a craving for sugar, kind of a sugar addiction, she called it. And then all of a sudden, boom, it was gone in 2 weeks and 2 hypnosis sessions. So she went from daily donuts and ice cream and kind of the baked good types of a thing, and candy too, to every once in a while that second week. She lost 12 pounds in the first week. And I think that's great. I love it when my clients lose weight, but that really was not what stood out to her. It was she had learned something about herself. She had stopped eating so much sugar to help her feel better. She was doing something else. So she felt in control again. It was such a relief to her. So instead of feeling frustrated and out of control, now she's feeling peaceful. And now she's feeling better. She told me, you know what, Erika, I can do this. If I'm not having those sugar cravings, if I am not feeling this compulsion to eat that stuff, I can easily lose the weight. And she did. She continued to lose the weight. She lost, I think, 65 pounds over the course. I only worked with her about 6 weeks, but after that, she ended up losing all the weight, and she told me about that later. So she was really happy about that. All right, so the next thing that we're going to talk about in part 3 of the training is essential tools to reprogram your weight. All right, but if you are ready right now to get started, you're excited about this, it sounds like it's the right program for you, then the next step is to get on a call with me, and we'll figure out if Reprogram Your Weight is right for you. It's not a fit for every single person that I talk to. So you can press the button on this webpage that the video is on to schedule a call with me, or you can go to reprogramyourweight.com to get that initial call scheduled. All right,